And as of last night, we began to actually reveal the results coming from the polling station. I can tell you that the results that were trickling in indicated that this was a highly contested elections. In some of the voting station, the leader of Zambia, that is Hakainde Hichilema, seemed to be ahead, but also in some of the polling station, Brian Mundubile, who is the opposition leader, also seems to have made serious inroads. I remember in one of the polling stations, he was polling about 3,000, more than 3,000 votes, and Hakainde Hichilema slightly 100 and something votes. And we understand that the Electoral Commission of Zambia has delayed the announcement of these results. But according to Brian Mundubile, you know, this is quite interesting. Brian Mundubile on social media has about 2,182 followers on X. But this is a man who is giving the current sitting president the hardest time ever in terms of results that have come through so far. We hope that there won't be manipulation. Already the current opposition leader in Zambia is crying foul, and he has called on the Electoral Commission of Zambia to release the results as soon as possible. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. According to the claims of Brian Mundubile, thank God, you know, we have received a lot of subscribers from our brothers in Zambia. Of course, they were crying that I can't pronounce their names properly. You know, in Africa, we've got different languages. The way I pronounce some words, there is no respect, there is no disrespect actually intended. Please, I hope I'm doing it proper with Brian Mundubile, who happens to be the opposition leader in Zambia. And the man has given Hakainde Hichilema a tough time so far in terms of the results that are coming through. He seems to be making serious inroads. And he has actually said, according to the results that they have received from the polling station, he is the winner. This is what he wrote about 35 minutes ago on his social media page. That is Brian Mundubile. He says, fellow Zambians, according to results received and compiled through our parallel voter tabulation, PVT, based on information transmitted on us from polling stations and totaling centers across the country, our tabulation indicates that we have won this election. That is from Brian Mundubile. And let's hear him speaking. Also, there is a statement that he has recorded on social media.
The military have taken control of certain totaling centers, and that Gen 20 forms are allegedly being removed. These reports must be addressed immediately. Electoral materials are not the property of any political party, government officials, or security institutions. They are part of the official record of the sovereign decision made by the Zambian people. Presidential ballots are counted at polling station level alongside other elections, and presidential results are therefore available to party agents through prescribed electoral documentation. It should consequently surprise no one that our agents and structures have been able to obtain results from across the country and establish a clear trend through our PVT. We are equally concerned about reported incidents involving ballot boxes in Chawama and Matero constituencies. Allegation of ballot boxes being unlawfully removed, stolen, interfered with, or transported outside established electoral procedures must be investigated immediately and transparently. Those responsible, if these allegations are established, must be held accountable under the law. In Northwestern Province, we have received reports that returning officers and presiding officers have been instructed to stop issuing results and Gen 20 forms. If confirmed, such conduct would be wholly unacceptable. Election results belong to the people. Party agents and other persons entitled by law to receive election.
Okay, so apologies for this disturbance. Apologies, and we are still hearing from the opposition leader in Zambia, who is concerned about some of the instructions that have been given to those running elections. Let me just continue from where he ended. I hope this video won't start. Okay, let's.
According to the result.
Oh my God. Let me just wait just a moment. We're trying to play you the voice of the current opposition leader of.
Should consequently surprise no one that our agents' instructions have been able to obtain results from across the country and establish a clear trend through our PVT. We are equally concerned about reported incidents involving ballot boxes in Chawama and Matero constituencies. Any allegation of ballot boxes being unlawfully removed, stolen, interfered with, or transported outside established electoral procedures must be investigated immediately and transparently. Those responsible, if these allegations are established, must be held accountable under the law. In Northwestern Province, we have received reports that returning officers and presiding officers have been instructed to stop issuing results and Gen 20 forms. If confirmed, such conduct would be wholly unacceptable. Election results belong to the people. Party agents and other persons entitled by law to receive electoral records must not be denied to them. In Northern Province, we have further received disturbing reports concerning the alleged involvement of a senior government official in the movement of government ballot boxes, including allegations that officers transporting ballot boxes to the totaling center have been instructed to pass through the official's residence before proceeding to the designated center. These allegations are extremely serious and demand immediate investigation. No ballot box should be diverted from legally prescribed chain of custody. I would like to issue a timely warning to my dear sister, Deputy PS Undi in Kasama, who has been mentioned in this particular case. So my dear sister Undi, stop what you're doing. Let the will of the Zambian people prevail. I therefore call upon the Electoral Commission of Zambia to act decisively and transparently. Preserve every ballot, preserve every Gen 20 form and other electoral record. Protect the chain of custody. Allow accredited political party agents and observers to perform their lawful functions. Publish the results, polling station by polling station, and constituency by constituency, so that every figure announced can be reconciled against the original records. I equally call upon men and women in uniform to remember that their loyalty is to the Constitution and the Republic of Zambia, not to any individual, political party, or temporary holder of public office. The institutions of the state must remain impartial. Their responsibility at this critical moment is to protect the people, electoral officials, and electoral materials, and not to interfere with the democratic process. To our party agents, monitors, supporters, and citizens across the country, remain peaceful, vigilant, and within the law. Protecting the vote doesn't mean engaging in violence or confronting security personnel. It means documenting results, preserving copies of lawful electoral records, reporting irregularities through the appropriate channels, and insisting peacefully upon transparency. To those administering this election, I say this: Zambia is bigger than all of us. Governments come and go, but the republic remains. No temporary political advantage is worth damaging the institutions upon which our democracy depends. If the official results differ from the results recorded at polling stations, The answer is not secrecy. The answer is transparency. Put the records before the nation and allow every number to be reconciled. The people of Zambia voted. Their decision must be respected. This is the moment of patriotism, restraint, and courage. Let every Zambian who's been entrusted with the people's vote discharge their responsibility faithfully. Let us be patriots. Let us protect the vote peacefully and lawfully. Let us defend the sovereign will of the Zambian people. I will at this juncture call upon the international community and all stakeholders, including international monitors, to take specific interest on the issues that I've raised in this statement so that we have a transparent and accountable process throughout this election. We expect that the stakeholders will immediately engage the Electoral Commission of Zambia so that they provide the answers that the Zambian people need. I will also urge the Electoral Commission of Zambia to immediately address the nation, updating them on the issues that we've raised in this statement, so that every Zambian remains peaceful, every Zambian remains confident that the electoral process will deliver the result in accordance with the will of the people of Zambia.
Well, that is the leader of, that is the opposition rather, leader of Zambia, that is close to defeating Hakainde Hichilema. In fact, according to him, he has already declared that he has won. The last time I checked on the Zambian electoral commission of Zambia, let me go again. They did not post anything. I was really worried about that. Let me just go again to check whether they last posted yesterday. This is worrying. You know, the Electoral Commission should always keep the people of Zambia updated so that, I mean, people do not actually speculate. I think about an hour ago, the president of Zambia posted something. He says, "We continue to receive encouraging results alongside reports of peace, unity, and solidarity across our country. There is much to be grateful for. Let us remain peaceful, patient, and patriotic as we wait the official outcome from these entrusted with managing the vote." So he says we must wait for the official outcome, but the official institution in Zambia is not actually clear about these results so far, so that will actually cause people to speculate. So we are really looking forward to the elections of Zambia, and I hope, let me just check if there is anything about the results. Yesterday I saw numerous results that are actually published, but according to polling stations, you know, so you can tally on your own. From the look of things, the results, in fact, let me see, the other news that I'm receiving here, it says the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has suspended the counting. This is worrying. And announcement of election results across the country with immediate effect following reports of violence in several districts. In a statement issued on Friday, 14 August 2026, the Commission said polling staff had been targeted during the counting and announcement of results, with some incidents resulting in marked ballot papers being stolen from the ballot boxes. We did not expect that. This is very, very dangerous. And you know, I've said Hakainde Hichilema started very, very well, but along the way he seems to have deteriorated. This is what we hear in Zimbabwe, and we were envying Zambia for its democracy. I think if he has lost the elections, he should actually do like his predecessor, hand over power peacefully without actually people dying in the process. Africa has to be democratic. A democratic Zambia means a democratic Africa. It's worrying these concerns. It says ECZ chairperson Mangala Zalomis who is also President Hakainde Hichilema's former personal lawyer, said the nationwide suspension was imposed because of the security situation and continuing threats of violence, invoking Section 673 of the Electoral Process Act number 35 of 2026. The dramatic intervention comes as results continue to emerge from Zambia. As from Zambia, elections and tensions rise around the counting process. The commission said it will review the suspension within 24 hours. What are they doing within the 24 hours? In fact, let me read the statement. Electoral Commission of Zambia, Election House, Haile Selassie Avenue, PO Box 50274, Lusaka, 14 August 2026. This is the latest press briefing for immediate release. It says suspension of counting and announcement of election results. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has noted with concern reports of violence during the counting and an announcement of results in some districts. The violence is targeted at poll staff and in some instances has resulted in the theft of marked ballot papers in ballot boxes. This is concerning. In view of the security situation and continued threats of violence, the Commission with immediate effect suspended the counting and announcements of results throughout the country in accordance with Section 673 of the Electoral Process Act 35 of 2016. This is Zim style. The commission will review the suspension within 24 hours. Mwangala Zalomis, SC, the Senior Counsel, Chairperson, Electoral Commission of Zambia. Let's take note. He was the opposition leader is calling for, and you see, we are seeing disturbing reports in this instance as Zambia election results continue to trickle in. The drama typically of many African elections is beginning to unfold with reports of ballot theft. Zambian media is reporting that chaos has been reported in Chawama following allegations that unidentified men took ballot papers from a polling station. This is really, really worrying. Police officers are reported to have left the scene during the incident, which reportedly resulted in several people being injured. Some are saying the police was there. Authorities have not yet issued an official statement. That was some 3 hours ago. Let me hear these people actually speaking from Zambia. We are covering the Zambian elections as I promised. Unfortunately, I can't interpret the language, but it is the people from Zambia complaining. Let me actually follow the page where I was getting results yesterday. Hopefully it says these are the results that have so far been published. Zambian presidential elections, Teji, Lumbwe, what, Kasamu, people will actually come after me for these the pronunciations, but remember, it's not my language. Hakainde Hichilema polled 387, and Brian Mundubile polled 11. And then in Chembe, Lusufu Com, Hakainde Hichilema polled 10, Brian Mundubile 51. I see signed documents. In Mwinilunga, Kani Hamba 3, Hakainde Hichilema polled 369, Brian Mundubile polled 39. In Chongwe West, UCZ Church 2, Minwood, Ndeke, Lusaka, Hakainde Hichilema polled 217 and Brian Mundubile 260. And I see the evidence from the Zambian Electoral Commission. and also in Chongwe West, UCZ, Minwood, Ndege, Lusaka, Hakainde Ichilema polled 137, and Brian Mundubile 325. And also Malambo Kasinga polling, Hakainde 143 and Brian Mundubile 205. Zambia, that is Mufumbwe Kikombe PS, Hakainde Ichilema 655 and Brian Mundubile 26. In Chipata Central, Tambe, Ichilema Hakainde 128 and Mundubile Brian 101. Chawama Lusaka Mazunzo Hakainde Ichilema 92, Brian Mundubile 172. You can see it's highly contested results. Chipata Correctional Facility Hakainde 25, Brian Mundubile 148. In Lunte Mukupa Kaoma Hakainde Ichilema 354 and Brian Mundubile 185. In Mkushi North, Tazara Primary, Hakainde Ichilema 81 and Brian Mundubile 203. In Maramba Linda Community School, Hakainde 320, Brian Mundubile 52. In Solwezi Central, Twavanai, Hakainde Ichilema 343 and Brian Mundubile 101. In Poacha South, David Primary School, Hakainde Ichilema 109, Brian Mundubile 313. In Chembe Lumbu, Hakainde Ichilema 74, Brian Mundubile 84. And in Mandevu, Chaisa Community Center, Hakainde Ichilema 62, Brian Mundubile 267. In Chadiza East, Piunukwa Ward, Hakainde Ichilema 580, Brian Mundubile 396. In Chipangale West, Kalichero Parish, Hakainde Ichilema 80, Brian Mundubile 260. In Luwingu Central Correctional Facility, Hakainde Ichilema 86 and Brian Mundubile 64. In Kalulushi Council Library, Hakainde Ichilema 130, Brian Mundubile 231. State House 2, Hakainde Ichilema 344, Brian Mundubile 159. Most of, so these are the, okay, there is also Chilinda, Chinsale district. I will announce also the ones that I announced earlier. Hakainde Ichilema 17, Brian Mundubile 182. Sinda Namichenja polling station, Hakainde Ichilema 173, Brian Mundubile 93. Patauke Stream 1, Hakainde Ichilema 6, Brian Mundubile 76. Changambo North Stream 1, Hakainde 236 and Brian Mundubile 1. State House Stream 1, Hakainde Ichilema 381, Brian Mundubile 153. Mwinilunga East Stream 1, Hakainde Ichilema 205, Brian Mundubile 1. Solwezi Central, Solwezi School of Nursing, Hakainde Ichilema 228, Brian Mundubile 201. Mwenzo Ntindi Primary, Hakainde 59, Brian Mundubile 148. Kalomo South, Namwanga Basic, Hakainde 527 and Brian Mundubile 4. Chawama Luimpa Polling Station, Hakainde Ichilema 105 and Brian Mundubile 259. Lusaka Central, Evelyn Hone, Hakainde Ichilema 178 and Brian Mundubile 124. Munali St. Augustine Parish, Hakainde Ichilema 61, Brian Mundubile 203. Chadiza West Kazionele, Hakainde Ichilema 136 and Brian Mundubile 86. This was, I think I announced, I'll just announce this last one. Kabushi, Kumutema, Stream, Hakainde Ichilema 36, Brian Mundubile 3,367. As you can see, these are highly contested elections. And also, let me read this. There is violence already. Police have fired tear gas at supporters gathered outside Zambezi Town Council amid rising tensions over allegations that poll staff delivering ballot papers are bringing in pre-rigged votes. The situation became tense as supporters gathered outside the offices, prompting police to deploy tear gas to disperse the crowd. You know, it's quite not so good news that are coming from Zambia. Someone saying it's the first time in Zambian history that the Electoral Commission suspends counting announcement for 28 hours. This is really worrying. I must say that the president of Zambia, this is highly worrying. The results should actually declared as soon as possible. It's really worrying. Let's hear the Zambian Commission postponing announcing of results for 24 hours. Let's hear that by a lawyer, former lawyer of Hakainde Hichilema.
This afternoon, I wish to give an update in terms of the development of the conduct of the 2026 general election. This morning, the Electoral Commission of Zambia held a meeting at which it made a resolution to suspend the counting and announcement of results of the election. To this effect, I will read the statement arising from that decision. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has noted with concern reports of violence during the counting and announcement of results in some districts. The violence is targeted at poll staff and in some instances has resulted in the theft of marked ballot papers in ballot boxes. In view of the security situation and continued threats of violence, the Commission has with immediate effect suspended the counting and announcement of results throughout the country in accordance with Section 67, subsection 3 of the Electoral Process Act number 35 of 2016. The Commission will review the suspension within 24 hours. I thank you.
So this was
Chief Electoral Officer, in view of the developments.
So this is what the Chief Election Officer, who happens to be the former lawyer of Hakainde Hichilema, decided with the Electoral Commission of Zambia. It's really worrying, and it happens to be the first time such an incident has actually transpired. So we are following these events with keen interest. What is happening in Zambia is worrying. It gives the vibes of Zimbabwe. It gives the vibes of Zimbabwe. We pray that may the wishes of the Zambian people be actually be the order of the day. So far, the results that you have seen me announcing, they reveal a highly contested competition between the current Zambian leader as well as also the highest competing leader. He seems to be actually doing very, very well, exceptionally well so far. And you know, the cancelling of this counting or on its own already is worrying. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Take note, I have released my album entitled Kuzodlula. I'm counting on the supporters of this lovely channel to also support the album. I'm actually asking you to listen to it. Just listen to it and then also give your feedback after listening to it. And also it is sold on all digital platforms. It can also be streamed on all digital platforms. I'll just post a link for one video for you to watch, and you make a judgment on whether to continue watching all of them. Okancubu Mhlabane is signing out. Let me love and leave you. Thanks to many Zambians who are following this channel. Continue to do so. I should learn now to speak Zambian language.